Hello. Welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
Howdy.
What's
You're
up?
welcome.
White Claw? That's not White Claw.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It's
So
only the best, boys.
No. It's an inside joke, Chris.
Okay.
it is.
Rivian Stories Fam Camp 2024. Skylar might have had just one too many. Not four too many, just one too many.
So hold on. Now I have to defend myself, Jimmy, because we went to the store. I was looking for beer because I flew actually into Jacksonville and then rode to South Carolina with Jimmy and Nikki for the fam camping trip. And we're in the store and I'm like, Jimmy, what are you getting? He was like, I'm getting White Claw. I'm like, what the hell? I will get White Claw too. And it became like a big theme of the weekend. And I guess probably the YouTube audience knows that I get fired up from time to time. And if I'm drinking, I tend to get even more fired up. So there was like White Claw, like it became a thing. It was fun.
It was a good time.
Yes.
And in my defense, they weren't like your standard flavor White Claws. They were White Claw Surfs, which are like slightly more.
Look at Chris.
The story's not getting any better for Scott.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're not helping yourself or me. Thanks.
It's good summer camping.
It's light and refreshing. Yes, it's not too heavy. I love my craft beers, but you know, I was looking for a light and refreshing beer, and Jimmy convinced me to do White Claw. And honestly, I'm not ashamed or upset about it. So there we go. I enjoyed those White Claws.
That's debatable.
So, Lee, who all we got? All right, I see some familiar faces and names over in the comments.
We got Scott. Scott is here all the way from Alaska.
Yes. And I will say, so for everybody here, we did just record one segment right before this. It was supposed to be two, but of course, yeah, we talked too much. It went too long. So we were only able to get one in, but yeah. So Jimmy.
Yeah.
You were a little upset this week. You got some disappointing news.
Well, so I blame Todd. Todd. I blame Todd. Todd told us that the little compass yellow diamond on Rivian.com showing that Jacksonville had a service center coming soon was no longer there. No sooner do I post it on Instagram, and Matt Boudreau, who is joining us, sends me a text message going, bro, I was about ready to send you a text message that the service center's gone, and then I just saw your post on the grams. I emailed RJ, and then I got onto our Florida Rivian Club page, and I said, here's RJ's email, rjscaringe@rivian.com. If you're not aware, email RJ. So
no, you did not.
He went scorched earth.
I did. I went ham, and I'm okay with it. Crazy enough, one of our members, and I can't remember who it was now, actually got a call after he emailed RJ. Not from RJ, but from somebody. I don't remember who it was. Anyways, yeah, they got a call. I didn't get a call or thanks for emailing RJ Syringe from his executive assistant. I didn't get anything. That's fine. But
Well,
until
Jimmy, your golden child status is over.
it is.
Jimmy,
It's been gone.
Jimmy
It's been gone.
used to be the favorite. Like Jimmy was getting swag from Rivian before there was Rivian swag, like before it was a thing. And matter of fact, excellent segue. That's how I got this shirt with Brian Gase's face on it, is because Jimmy got all the swag and me and Kyle, we came up with the term chili witch, like the floor mats. We were treated like dirt. So, but Brian Gase, or actually, I think it was his wife, saw that, showed it to Brian. So Brian sent Hello Rivian shirts to me and Kyle. So, we finally got something.
Yeah. So, I'm laying it on thick, man. Like I then went on to this. We have a couple different regions that we operate out of on the Florida Rivian Club, and so I got to the Central Florida section. So basically, Greater Orlando, and I posted the same thing because honestly, until Jacksonville gets a service center, it's affecting Orlando. Until Jacksonville gets a service center, it's affecting the Panhandle. Pretty much all of like the Central Florida and all of North Florida is affected by this until Jacksonville gets something.
And Jimmy, I mean, any city that's an NFL city is a big city. And like a matter of fact, when I was working for a couple of startups, we focused on NFL cities, right? When we were doing shows and whatever. But where does Jacksonville rank population wise compared to other cities in Florida?
It's the largest population wise in the state of Florida. It's also, I'm gonna get crap for this in the comments. For those that don't know, Jacksonville is the largest city in the contiguous United States. It's 60 square miles. It's bigger than LA, bigger than New York. There's not a city bigger than it. The only cities that are bigger than Jacksonville are like 4 or 5 cities in Alaska, and Scott can tell you that one. Jacksonville's huge. And yet we are forgotten.
You're not forgotten. I mean,
I know,
hopefully there's an explanation. So
I'm pouring it on thick, man. I'm pouring it on thick. Let me keep pouring it on thick.
So Jimmy, that person that did get contacted, did they get any sort of justification or information? Anything?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I've heard of service centers being deprioritized. Not that they're not going to exist. It's just the priority shifted to a different location. So like Orlando needed another one before Jacksonville needed the first one, for example. And I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that the Rivian logic is they're over, the Orlando one's overwhelmed, for example. I don't know if that's the case, but that might be the reasoning they used. And
sure.
I imagine that Diamond might come back. There's a lot of, I've heard through the grapevine of other locations that are coming, and there's no Diamond out there. And we've seen that before in the past too. Just poof, the service center shows up and it wasn't even a Diamond to begin with.
Right. And I guess that's my next point. I think we've all had conversations. If we haven't had a conversation between the three of us, we've probably talked to somebody about this. And Rivian's website it should be a source of truth. It's their website, and it is woefully bad at being a source of truth when it comes to RAN locations, service centers. Coming soon. Jacksonville was on there for 2 years, over 2 years, and then it just disappeared. Like coming soon isn't 2 years. coming soon is like what you would see at a movie theater. Like 6 to 12 months.
Yep.
Hey, hey, Jimmy, yeah. I saw this in the comments and I have to bring it up. Jacksonville. So Greg says Jacksonville is 747 square miles.
Sure,
when you said 60 square miles, I was like,
yeah, sorry. It's like 60 miles in like each direction. So would make it whatever that math is. I suck at that, dude. I got a GED. Give me a break, man. Come on.
Oh, all right. Rivians and not math. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, I feel for you because I think that it's I wish I knew why. That's the thing. I mean, where are the existing vehicles and where do they think there's going to be a lot more vehicles? That's I feel like at the end of the day, hopefully that's what it's boiling down to.
Yeah.
But until somebody comes out and says it, I guess you don't know.
The real answer is probably West Coast. West Coast is probably the real answer, right? They're probably dedicating most of the resources to West Coast. Seattle,
sure.
California.
Sure.
I'm saying California as a whole because there's just too many locations that are backed up in California. There's some, I'm not trying to bring politics into this, but some of the people are put off by Tesla and moving to Rivian. So Rivian's seen influx. I don't know if you saw the report that came out recently in the last day or two, I feel like, about this, like sales in California are up for Rivian kind of thing. And I think it was technically down in Q4, but up overall from the year in California. So like they need more service locations in California, more than probably any location throughout the country.
Yeah, Zorg is over there in the comments saying that, had to wait 2 months to get into the Reno service center. But I will say this also, had an interesting experience when I was going to drop off a kid at an activity this evening. Left my house, and in the span of 30 seconds, passed a Rivian going the other way and ended up behind another one. And that is just wild. Rivians are common here in the Austin area now. And I mean, it used to be exciting to see one. Now it's almost unusual if you don't see one every time you're driving out and about. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest kick in the pants is Orlando 2 is now showing on the map. Jacksonville's not. And then we have vans in Jacksonville now. Like we have EDVs, not on my side of town because it's too far away from the delivery center. But on the whoa, I live in Jacksonville. Yeah, so on the south side, we have a ton of EDVs. So who's servicing them? And I understand that they have SLAs, so like they have to, Amazon, part of the agreement was an SLA that they had to be serviced in a certain amount of time. But that resource also means that mobile service is being used for them when they could be being used for us. All because they got a better deal than we did when it came to service. Because of that agreement. But I don't know. Go ahead.
I will say this. I feel like and we brought this up last week on the unintentional live stream. Rivian definitely needs more service centers, and I'd like to see a lot of emphasis there. And I mean, yeah, it's not short lead times anywhere. I feel like they're doing a great job at most of the service centers anyway, and like the
Yeah.
one in Austin is awesome. But I will also tell the people that's something that the three of us have been working on is we're trying to get in touch with the right people at Rivian to hopefully have someone from service on to tell us about the status and the direction moving forward.
Yeah.
I want to submit a request live, but I'm trying to think of anything that's wrong with my car because I think the Cincinnati location I've never seen, knock on wood, any kind of backup. Like I think about two ago I scheduled service and it was a week out, 2 weeks out tops. Midwest is a different animal than West Coast, East Coast, Florida.
Like no wait times. Like you can just basically just roll up.
I could literally pick like a week from today. Like if it was available, there's basically no, like it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Look in the app and it gives you the time slots and drop off and all that stuff, and it's beautiful. But unfortunately, that's also 2 hours away from me, so not the greatest experience. Even though I'm bragging that I have a 2-week wait, I think there's a lot of people that actually kill for that and say, okay, I would drive 2 hours to have a 2-week wait.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's another topic in here too that we could go on. Local friend here, Jake. He just dropped off his truck yesterday, with an appointment that he's had for a couple months. His e-tick for pickup is March 21st or 31st.
And real quick, I did see that Steve Brown joined. And so, Steve, I wanted to show you that, yes, I still have it. I did not drink it all. I'm still waiting on Jimmy. I just sampled it. But yeah, Steve was super gracious in providing that bottle that is still sitting on my desk with another one or two.
Yeah. Why are you waiting on me? Like to drink now or in
no,
person?
yes. So Jimmy, it's been too long since I've seen you, my man. And I told Steve, like, hey, I am not just gonna drink all of this. I am going to save and share it with Jimmy.
Well, you got to bring it to fam camp then.
True.
Another shameless plug. Another shameless
still
plug.
Haven't booked.
I know. Hurry up, dude. The block for cabins and campsites ends on the 14th, so 10 more days.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Well, I'm telling you that.
All right.
No, Manny. Of course, there's no that waiting room is not a waiting room. It's in most circles it's called a joke.
Yeah. So for those that may not be reading the comments, Manny's saying that Orlando just needs more waiting chairs at the service center.
Yeah, they
Ooh, Connor, good question. We and Connor asked if we're gonna do a live stream for the earnings like we have in the past. I do not have that on the calendar at the moment, and I don't know if we'll do it this next time, but I'm definitely down for picking that back up.
I could be swayed, maybe.
Yeah. Well, those are a lot of listening and not as much talking. But it is kind of fun to listen together for those that are interested in that side of things.
Yeah. I just got tired of the same questions, just asked slightly differently from all the investors.
From the analyst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, it's the same thing, and it's going to be in general the same sort of responses from Rivian,
Oh yeah.
but there are always some tidbits. So if nothing else, maybe we can do an earnings recap, even if we don't hit it live.
Yeah. Speaking of tidbits, do we want to talk about 2025 dot
06.
06? Is that what it was, Chris?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Weren't we just talking about this in the live stream on our freaking 2 hour
Yes, we
marathon live
were.
stream last week?
Yeah, that's what. That's so.
Yep.
The story was I remember I said I'm asking Rivian a bunch of questions. I was asking Wasim the question. I was like, so when we get the tire, sorry, the wheel change stuff anytime soon? And then he's like, soon. That's all he said was soon.
Yeah.
It's like that's a troll. That is an absolute troll answer.
Oh yeah.
And so then I shared. I'm like, can I share it? Can I share that? Because sometimes people say things.
Well,
I'm like, I shouldn't share that. And he's like, it's not giving away anything. It's saying soon. So I shared that, and then he just responded to me again to the trolling comment.
Well, Chris, pull that up so that Jimmy can throw it on the screen. But
Okay.
We're talking about the ability to customers to change their wheel and tire selection without having to go to like in the software, without having to go to the service center. And I threw a question on that Twitter/X thread that I do not believe has been answered yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. We need that. We also need there you go.
You can actually get a good look at it. I mean, and the mobile app, right? Like you can zoom in, you can see it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
So can you guys see that okay out there on YouTubeville?
Maybe. Can you zoom in a little bit on that, Chris?
Okay. Here's the comment, but it says the 06 OTA Gen 1 owners have the statement around here about Gen 1 owners having Gen 2 wheels is pretty sweet.
What's funny though is depending on who you talk to, that you can't switch. You can't put Gen 2 wheels on a Gen 1 vehicle. Like that's like service centers are telling people that.
I wonder why. I mean, I don't know. I haven't kept up with it. Do the Gen 2 wheels still have the same oddball offset?
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's still the same.
I mean,
20s,
yeah, if
20s
it's
are the same, right? The 20s are the same wheels.
20s didn't change.
My only concern would have been like the brake calipers, but I think those are the same too, right?
Yeah, I don't think anything changed. Yep. But yeah, so that'll be cool. I really want text. I want text messaging support. I feel like
that's been coming for a long time, but I'll tell you what. I mean, from a practical standpoint, it depends on how they implement the feature. And the reason that I say that is I drive around with my kids in the car a lot of the time, and some of the texts that I receive may not be little ears appropriate. So I don't want it just reading things out loud or necessarily even popping up on the screen. So I don't know how much I would use that personally.
Yeah.
Did you guys see this piece? Hold on. Let's see. Can you see how I'm highlighting this?
No, you got to zoom way in, dude.
Okay, but look at this bit right here. Total tire mileage. So I'm wondering if you flip back and forth between, let's say, your winter tires and your summer tires, or I don't
That's
know,
cool.
that it tracks how many miles you have actually put on those tires. I mean, not that you wouldn't use a tire gauge, but ballpark, right? You should actually be able to say these things wore out at 40,000 miles or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that would be amazing. And I know that that is a major use case that they need to be able to handle. And it's people switching back and forth between winter slash snow tires and their non-winter tires.
Yeah, especially in Florida.
And yeah, the hey, Jacksonville got snow, right? Or
Yeah,
no, just other parts of Florida.
Parts of Jacksonville did, not us.
Okay.
You know, if you recall, Jacksonville is 780 square miles, something like that, right?
747, bro. You ought to be
Sure,
you're
I don't know.
Hey, you're an airplane guy. You ought to be able to remember 747.
No, I'm a fighter jet guy, not an airplane guy. But go ahead.
Jets. So my question was, are you going to be able to swap? Is it only the OEM sizes, or could you say like, hey, I've got a 275/60 R20, like a different tire size on a 20-inch wheel? Like
no, it's going to be factory. It's going to be factory sizes. But I mean, you can game that by just, in that instance, you could game it and say that you got the 21s, and then which is the same thing.
Well, same diameter as the OEM 22s also, right? But yeah. So yeah, you can game it, but it would be cool because I'm just assuming, and I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that it affects all the graphics in the UI as well. Just like, you know, all of my graphics have my 20-inch wheels. So yeah.
When Tesla does it, it's they let you pick the wheel. That's about it. And then and obviously you start with the size, right? Then once you go to the size, then it tells you which wheels are that size or whatever. I think there's like there's a bunch of selections, and then it's like two couple selections. It's very simple, and then it does the exact same thing. Requires a reboot, so restart your vehicle. Then it updates all the GUI and everything, and the mobile app gets a notification that you've changed wheels.
Yep,
and it does the graphics on the mobile app too.
Another good comment here, and actually this would be kind of closer to my use case more than likely, but mud tires versus regular tires, mud and no mud for Explorer Rivian, which I mean, if you've got off-road tires that you throw on that you can, you know, go and beat on a little bit more and more resistant to rocks would be my use case instead of mud. But yeah,
in Explorer Rivian's case, Jorge, what are you doing? Michelin's and then BFG's KO2s, or maybe KO3s is what he's doing.
Oh,
but yeah.
So you know what he's doing. Which Michelin's?
I think he went Defender, the twos, the MS2s.
Yep.
Yeah. That actually brings up another topic that we haven't talked about in a while, Skylar, is how are your Platinums doing?
Amazing. Still amazing. So a little over 20,000 miles on them. They're still quiet. I was really curious whether, and granted, it doesn't get super cold here, and they thought that we might have snow and ice, but we didn't really. I mean, it wasn't enough to make any difference driving on it, right? Yeah. But I was concerned that just due to a lot of the higher mileage warranty tires are made out of compounds that do not do well at all when it's cold. Yeah. And I mean, it was below freezing. Yeah. So, but I I even tried to get it a little bit loose, lightly on, some wintry ish stuff. And it was probably more wet than anything else, but yeah, they did great in the cold. And I thought that might be a real issue. However, I do not think I would recommend those for anybody doing ice or snow driving still.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I just actually today rotated the Toyos. I am now at 32,000 miles on those, and I still have 30 seconds remaining. I am definitely going to get 45,000, at least 45,000, which is their tire warranty out of those bad boys. So I dig it, especially for how much I paid for them. Granted, they were cheaper than what I would have paid for the Pirellis, the ATs. Yeah.
Yep. No, and that's the biggest reason why I'm a big pro tire choice guy. And yeah, that's the biggest reason why the 21-inch wheels were a no for me.
Yeah, I had to go there on my 21s.
You know what? Hey, for each their own, and I understand why people buy them. It's just, I've been a car guy, Jeep guy, truck guy, and I put aftermarket tires on everything that I own. And I was like, well, I thought when that video came out and RJ was walking around the factory and he said, "These are our 21-inch road tires," I was like, I thought that he misspoke. And it was before they were officially announced. It was like a little promo video of him walking around the factory.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, surely that's incorrect. But a car guy like RJ, how does he mess that up? Well, he didn't mess it up, but hold on. It depends on how you look at it. Yeah.
We have two options now.
Oh,
It's
You do. You do.
For how long,
and
question.
Right. And I think we talked about this offline a little bit. Yeah. How long are you going to have two options? Because now that Michelin knows that the 21s don't exist moving forward, why are they going to keep? I think Pirelli probably has to because of a contract between Rivian and Pirelli, but Michelin doesn't. Michelin doesn't owe anybody anything. So how long is that going to last?
I'm stocking up on 21-inch Michelins like it's Costco. I'm buying in bulk. I get 20 of them. 20 of them sitting in my garage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting move. I don't know. I mean, everybody gets a choice. That's the cool part. Yeah, unfortunately the R2 is on 21s, or at least that's one of the options.
so R2 was on 20s. It was just a lower profile 20-inch when I saw it. So Manny asked if the R2 was on 21s.
I thought it was 21s too. Maybe not. 21s as well.
Sorry to type. I'm gonna pull my photos.
Yeah. No, I think it was a hold on. When was that event? I might be able to find it as well. Let me search. Oh my gosh. Actually, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I was going to search my Google Photos for Rivian, and I mean, as you might expect, nothing about that event. But hold on, let's see.
Yeah, you ain't finding it in there, man.
I got my Google photo. Hold on a moment.
Yeah, I took a close up of that tire. When was that event?
Trying to see if you can see the numbers on the tire. 270, 50, 275, 50? Here, I'll share my screen.
Yep. That's I thought that it was a 50 or 55, but I'm pretty sure it's a 20, right?
Here we go. 21. 275, 50, 21.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is actually the unveiling photo I took. This is the original one. If they changed it since, this is what they showed up with at the unveiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, goodness. All right, I'm still gonna look. So you guys talk.
Let's see. I might have an R2 photo. There's an R3X. I don't know if I can make the. I know I've got up close pictures of the 3X tire somewhere. There's one. The Continentals.
Oh,
What we got here? It's up here.
Yeah. Even you took a picture of it. 21.
it is 21, and I've got it plain as day. I zoomed in on it. Dang. Dude, I have been off my game today. I had an incorrect statement on our recording earlier that people will have to wait to see.
Tomorrow. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about 21s, dude. It's a weird that's a lot of rim for no reason.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Hopefully they don't actually do that.
Do you remember March 1st?
Jimmy.
No? Too soon? Hello, Scott?
Yeah, sorry. I'm paying attention to other things. I apologize. But
They've done
Okay.
crazier.
yeah.
Remember that camp kitchen? Remember the new camp kitchen? That thing is wild.
The OG was better.
Oh,
All right, so
yeah.
let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, Manny says you can keep the R3X on the screen. He'll never get tired of seeing it. You know what? We need to. I want to run a poll or something over on Rivian Stories, Jimmy, and see how many people are in on the R3 or R3X. I mean, it's not my bag, but I'll tell you what, Conundrum posted a picture of the rally version, and that thing looked pretty freaking sweet.
I'm pretty sure that was AI. I don't think that was real. Was that real?
I don't care.
It was a Photoshop. You're talking about the white one with the
yeah, with the stripes. Yeah,
that's Photoshop.
Yeah, dude,
that livery.
I'm fine. I'm fine with Photoshop. I mean, shoot, we were trying to Photoshop limestone for forever.
So was Rivian.
Yeah, yes, they were, and doing a not great job at it. Which, oh my gosh. Anyway, Steve, been sampling too much. Actually, I told the guys they got me last week for like over 2 hours drinking straight whiskey. So, nope,
Well,
not tonight. It's water.
And for those that aren't, some were in the know. We were 2 hours on the live stream, and then we ended up talking for an hour and change after that.
See,
yeah, it was a long night in a very little sleep for Jimmy, who got up at 4:15 that next day and had to go to work.
I was not up at 4:15 that next day, so yeah.
I did 6:15 and two 300 milligram caffeine energy drinks the next day.
There you go. There you go.
Yikes,
man.
So we're talking R2 and R3. Anybody gonna go see R3X? We're gonna go see the cars at the auto show, Chicago Auto Show, and then they're gonna be at Toronto and then Vancouver. So Chicago Auto Show this coming weekend, and then in the next week, and then after that, there's like a little pause, and then it goes to Toronto.
I would like to see the R3X in person just to see, just to experience it, to kind of feel it in person, if that makes sense. Feel it, visually, because I know that you can't sit in them unless you're super special, but I'm not, so whatever.
Yeah. Oh, Roger.
But no, dude, the R3X is going to be a little rocket ship, man. I mean, no question. That thing is going to be an absolute blast to drive. I mean, I never owned a WRX, but I drove a couple of friends, and those were so much fun, man. Mafro.
I keep errantly clicking things. I didn't mean to even click Mafro. Mafro, smash that bell, man. Smash that bell.
One thing to talk about the
I think that's the first time in this channel's history that has ever been said.
Smash that bell.
So
Jimmy.
Rivian only has 3 motor designs. Enduro.
Wait, Rivian only has. Okay.
Enduro, Ascent, and then the new one, the Maximus. So what's R3X going to get? It's going to get a Enduro with a Ascent. So think of it's going to be just a minute. Sorry, not Enduro. A Maximus in the front, Ascent in the back. So think about like basically the Tri-Max R1 powertrain into that little thing there.
Short wheelbase. I mean, that thing will whip around like nobody's business, man. That's But
R3X is going to be the Ascent rear, so a dual motor in the rear, and then a Maximus, which is a miniaturized Enduro in the front. And I think technically, I don't know how they get the Ascent motor in the back, to be honest, but if you look at their last Investor Day presentation, they were very clear they only have 3 motor designs. And so if they're putting that full-size Ascent motor in the rear there, Lord help us. It's gonna, that thing's gonna pop a wheelie.
The R3, you can only, at least from what they said from the beginning, the R3X was only configurable in a tri-motor.
Well, the X, right? And then the dual or single R3 would be available thereafter.
Yeah.
I like Steve's comment. Business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the Chicago Auto Show on Thursday this week, and so we'll see. R2 will be there for the first half of the show, and so I'm going to go to the R2 viewing. I've seen it a bajillion times, but we'll see. I want to see. I actually, funny story. I submitted a press pass access, and I got granted press access. So
nice.
That's when they do press access is when you get potentially to maybe sit in it. I don't know. We'll see. But I've sat in R2. I've not sat in 3X, which is unfortunate because of 3X is coming like the following week. So if anybody wants to see the 3X, you got to go to the back half of the Chicago Auto Show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
you tried
to do. I want to take a car seat. I want to take a car seat and put it in the back of that R2. Is what I want to do. I'm planning to pull one out of my garage and throw it in the back of my car and drive it up there, and then I will ask nicely if I could put a car seat in there, and I won't even anchor it in. I know it's got 3 anchor points in the back seat because I asked that question one time before. But they're like, this is a prototype. I won't have 3 anchor spots. Technically 6 anchor spots, but in the prototype has 3 spots you can put a car seat with anchors.
I mean,
I
the back seats,
I just want to sit in there and take a picture and show people how big that back seat is.
Jimmy and Nikki are going to the Miami Space opening on Saturday. And so is Bruce. So I get to meet Bruce finally. We get to meet Bruce finally. I was gonna say something. The R2 backseat is bigger than the R1S backseat.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
I
by a lot.
I can sit. I'm pretty sure I can sit behind myself. Like I'm 6'5",
Yeah.
so put myself in the front seat, put it back to a comfortable spot, and then I can sit behind myself.
Yeah.
I did size it. RJ in front of me, he's 6'1", and I still had a shit ton of leg room ahead of me, or knee room ahead of me, and R2
Yeah.
I sat in the back. So it's incredible. It really is. They were very clear. They designed the R2 right around that back seat. So
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell just by how big that dang door is, man. That door is huge.
And it's got a good amount of cargo room. I mean, think about it. It's a bit smaller than the R1S, but it doesn't have a third row. So, I mean, yeah, no, that's going to be amazing if you don't need 3 rows.
Yeah. How do we have 65 people on right now, man? This is awesome.
Yeah.
What else, man? What else we want to talk about real quick?
Well, so I will say we still have a number of topics, including the one that we didn't get to tonight to record about, but I'd love to hear from the crew. What are some of the other things that you're curious about? What do you want to hear us talk about? What do you want us to potentially try to find out from Rivian? Is kind of another twist, because we're starting to reach back out and see if we can get access to have some good conversations with people. So let us know what you guys want to hear, and we can add things to the list. Oh, there's always somebody asking about Kyle. So Kyle got involved with his father's business, and he's got 3 kids that are all in sports, and he is prioritizing work and family. I mean, even back when we were doing the thing, he didn't really he was staying up late nights editing videos. Like that guy is a machine, but he was using time that he really didn't have to do Rivian stuff. And he finally took a step back and said, I want to focus on what's important. And I mean, it's absolutely the right decision for him. So,
yeah, he took back his promise ring from me.
Well,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. So ran plans. That's a good one. I don't think we've ever had anybody on from the RAN team. I know that we talked about it.
Yeah,
but
no, we haven't. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I could talk about service centers all day, Matt.
That's how we started. The conversation.
Yeah,
the live stream. They have they announced whether R2 is going to be high voltage or not?
You have to look at the competition. So anytime you ask an engineer a question, they're trained especially to answer it in a certain way, and the answer is usually was expected of a vehicle of that size and of that class and that price point, right? So the refresh
Hyundai Kia,
right. But the refresh Model Y is the vehicle the same size and class.
400.
I know it's more of a crossover than SUV, but that's going to be like the benchmark, and so that is not 800 volt. And they will probably target not necessarily the voltage, but how fast you can get in and out of a charging station. Rather, I can go 10 to 80% in 30 minutes, or what. They'll set some number like that, and they will never tell you it's 800 volt until you absolutely have to know.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, they're talking about saving money on wiring for the charge port location. I mean, higher voltage, you can have basically half the wire gauge, right? So you can save a lot that way. I mean, I don't know. There's different ways to slice and dice it. I hope they make a move to higher voltage sooner rather than later, because it will help with charging. It could help them with cost. And yeah, since Rivian is doing motors and inverters and whatnot in-house, they don't have to worry about supply chain. That was the original justification for going 400 volt, is that supply chain wasn't there for higher voltage architectures, but Rivian's rolling its own now. So
Yeah.
Greg makes a good point that like you really need it above 100 kilowatt hours, which is R1, right? Below that, you can probably, if you have a good charging curve, you can get by with the 400 volt. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm saying get by. I'm not saying be acceptable. Right.
right. Right.
I mean, in a lot of things will charge better than a Tesla at this point. Tesla has pretty piss poor charging curves in general. So if they can beat Tesla at the charging curve on the R2, just give it a beefy charging curve, they'll be fine at 400 volt.
Yeah.
Yep. And I know that when Rivian was brand new, they talked about how their pack cooling strategy was going to be better. I think that Rivian has some work to do to improve battery pack cooling. I feel like that is probably more of a gating factor as it relates to charging than the voltage.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I am exhausted. I was up super early this morning, and we said that the live stream portion of this one was going to be 30 minutes, and look where we are, coming up on an hour. So
do we want to talk about format to the 58 people that are still here, like what we kind of want to continue to do, or do we want to leave them hanging until next time?
Well, I mean, I think we can share what we've talked about. Nothing's set in stone, but we would like to get together weekly. We would like to record one or two, hopefully two topics if we can help ourselves and not be terribly long-winded. And then do a live like this every week.
Yeah.
So that's the thought right now. We'll see how things shake out, but that's what we'd like to do.
Yeah. Agreed. I dig it.
And Kieran, no, I have not been watching a lot of YouTube, period, but I'm gonna have to look that one up. Thanks for mentioning it.
Bring back Tony.
Oh, well, Tony is on sabbatical at the moment. So Tony will be back in months from now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll bring Tony back.
Why did I wake my ass up? Why am I asleep?
I'm the one yawning. I've been up since 4:15. Well, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah, likewise. I'm glad to be back in a little bit of a swing. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, agreed. Thanks for everybody hanging out.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining.
We'll see y'all next week.
See ya.
Absolutely. Bye, y'all.